Well, so speaking of fun, we're going to introduce our jester.
Yes.
Our jester is our holder of questions. So we've got a bunch of random questions here that I'm going to pull out, and we're going to see what Nelly thinks about some things here. What makes you nervous?
Oh my God.
Random questions out of the.
I'm happy to be vulnerable here. It's my first time being an art director, and speaking to a team of creatives. Sometimes it gets me nervous. Plain and simple. I love deadlines, and people get nervous. In my team, they get nervous about deadlines, and deadlines used to be like my, yes, it pumps me up. But my team gets nervous on deadlines. But yes, like just it's the first time as an art director, first time at a sports network. So there's a lot of excuses, reasons for me to be nervous, but it's been a good run so far.
I love it. Well, look, the work speaks for itself. You guys are doing some fun stuff over there.
Thanks.
See what else we have going on here. Tell me a quote or piece of movie, TV dialogue that you'll never forget.
This just came up last night. I was talking with my partner, and she was watching this movie, Analyze This. And she, I think it's a scene where we're talking, and she was telling me about it, and I was like, I'm going to bring this up to her. And it's a scene, I guess Robert De Niro is selling a car, and he says, I want to speak to your manager. And he says, what manager? You want to talk to the manager? The manager is right here. And he's, pointing to his balls. With the accent.
Of course, yes, the De Niro accent, huh?
But that was like, I was like, I knew you're gonna, say something about quotes.
De Niro's balls made it into this. I love that.
The manager. Run Forrest Run is my favorite of all time.
That's the one, huh?
Run Forrest Run. Yeah.
Because of the movie, does it mean something else to you?
I feel like in my life I've been always running. I don't want to run anymore.
Okay.
Just want to relax.
Do you feel like you're getting to the point where you're not running?
Yeah, I just, in the beginning, you're young, you have no idea, and, you're hustling all the time, and sometimes you forgot to enjoy, and have fun. And I've noticed, like, for instance, Promax, I always was, who am I going to meet next? And, and it's exhilarating, exciting, but I forgot to have fun a little bit. And, the last few BDA Pro Maxes, I really had fun.
Good.
I told myself, go to Vegas and have fun. So it was, that's, Run Forrest Run, enjoy life. It's live the moment. I always preached, be in the moment, but was I always being in the moment? No. But I'm learning to be more, especially with the pandemic, it kind of taught us a global message, be there with the loved ones, and, don't wait for tomorrow. If you want to say, share something, or, send a positive energy, a love vibe to anyone, do it now. There's only now.
Yeah.
And so Run Forrest Run is all about, taking it easy and enjoying and be in the moment. And, and only there I think you notice how much there's kindness that comes right after that, and you learn more about yourself, and you get in tune, and you get some inner peace. All of this in pandemic, and trips to Palm Springs in the desert. So that's, I'm a I feel like I'm a better person right now. Like I was always rushing, and I don't know if do you remember anything of me at CNN?
Mm-hmm.
Can you remind me of what I was like? Because I'd like a refresh.
Well, there was a bundle of energy. Like that was something that I'll never forget. Like there was always like a real sense of excitement, a willingness to ask questions. Like that was always really cool too. Like lots of questions, lots of want to try this, try that. Really getting into the flow and being part of the team. That was a big part too, was we had such a tight knit group there.
Yeah.
You either became part of that or it just was really awkward.
Yeah.
And like things that just like you said, throwing the balls around, the playing the hoops and goofing off, but also getting the work done and really being invested into that.
Yeah.
Made it enjoyable to be there. And you absolutely were part of that. So it's really cool to see you leading people and taking some of that into practice and be like, you know what, we're going to be a team here. We may be far away, but we're going to try and do things that's going to get us interacting and talking. And I think that's huge. Because what's the point then, you know? Exactly.
Yeah. And I love, like, cause I think it's also my nature of, where I came from and, from miles away. And I was always curious to learn about the culture. And, you guys always went outside to play baseball. And I remember not being interested in it. And I was like, how am I going to be friends with Matt? He's always playing baseball. Right. And you would always come back with your hat backward, your cap, and you guys are all sweating. I was like, oh, that's cool. But it was cool. I really remember that it was very cool to be there. And I felt like I was at a real network, in my life for once.
Yeah.
It was really nice to go on the floor, meet Wolf Blitzer. It really, in that, how you said in an internship, you learn so much so quickly and you grow and you're ready. Yeah. It felt like that for me. It was in a crunch, delivered, and then bye.
but then look what you did with all of that too.
Yeah. The first thing I did at KTLA, I was introduced always. She was at CNN. Mm. I was always at KTLA. I was always introduced as Nelly was at CNN. I'm like, yes, for 3 months, but don't say anything.
Doesn't matter. It's 3 days. Doesn't matter. No one cares.
Yeah, but I really learned a lot in that crunch, that brief time, that summer I spent there. And it was really good because I remember doing night shift, a little bit towards the afternoon.
Yeah.
And it was really nice. It really was cool at night. It used to be calmer, less people, and the space more colder. And you're watching, the TV was always there watching for your graphics to get on air. It was very exciting. Yeah. And I think that's something that this generation is missing on, the excitement that we used to wait for that spot to get on air or the lower third, even if it's a lower third, it was a huge amount of, pride when in that one graphic element on the network.
Yeah.
So it's huge, so I really love those those times. Sorry, I was a little bit energetic. I'm an energy ball.
Come on. I mean, there are things that I know that we're all joked about, that stay there. And it was always really kind of funny to have this sort of this oasis where like anything was welcome. Any joke was welcome.
Yeah.
Kind of, just conversation. And I remember producers coming down to be like, I just need a break from what's going on upstairs. So I'm going to hang out with you guys. We're like, well,
exactly.
that was really cool to help build that space, to be part of it and have the kind of that we had from, Gary to Eric to Mark to Marcy and Richard. And like, it was really cool, a really cool thing to be able to focus on, like that community that we had in that little. And
I love the seriousness in it too, because it was short time and we had responsibilities.
Yeah.
If you were supposed to be there at 6 o'clock, if you were 6:05, it was seriously not right.
Yeah.
Not cool. I remember maybe it was the first or second week, and Richard was like, "That was not cool." I was like, in Maryland, I was like, I don't care about the metro schedule, just And I was like, okay, I get it. We were cool, but even that was cool, because the way you learn responsibility and trust and team building is all about those aspects that come in when you're around each other, how you communicate, the tone, how it goes. It fluctuates from happy to we're serious now, we're creative mode now. It's a spectrum of things you explore and you experience. And that's something, it's very linear on digital,
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah. But I think it will change. I think, there's going to be some nuances.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. So,
yeah.
All right, let's see what else we have here. Ooh, who's an artist in a completely different field that totally blows your mind?
In a different field. Ooh, so many fields. Music field. Billie Eilish.
Okay.
I think she's that person that I was trying to describe earlier. They're doing things in their own world, and sometimes we don't understand.
Right.
But they leave a very a big impact. I really think that she's an amazing musician. And the fact that she works with her brother and she shows a lot of respect, to that collaboration, the sibling collaboration. I think it speaks volume. And anybody who's right now doing a lot of AI, stuff, I'm just, following them a lot. Like UCLA professor, I think his name is Refik Anadol. He's doing a lot of amazing collective memory with AI generated arts, abstract art.
Wow. Okay.
It's a lot of great things are coming out in the world. And when you see collaborations with, artists like that, it really, it's amazing to see that.
All right, we'll do one more and then we'll get you out of here.
Cool.
All right. What is the last book that you loved?
Oh, man. Let me see.
Look around.
Books. What are books, Matt? The books. Well, if I'm thinking too hard on this, so I haven't read a book.
Wait, all this time in the pandemic and you didn't read any books?
I was just doing tutorials for Redshift, Cinema 4D, and node-based stuff. So please spare me.
The last book that Nelly loved was a tutorial on Redshift. There you have it.
No, that's not a book.
No, that wasn't.
Actually, I was reading a book. What was it called? A leadership book. It was given to me by John, my previous manager at KTLA. It says it's called Multipliers. I almost finished it. It talks about how good leaders prepare good leaders.
Okay.
So it's interesting. It's a book about leadership, and I've been keeping it here. So whenever I have some time, a couple of pages here and there, but I'm almost at the end of it. It's a good book. It's a really good book. Apparently they pass it on in kind of between leaders, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, if you're good leaders making another good leader, then that would make a lot of sense.
I don't know.
So thinking of good leaders making good leaders, what's something that, I know I said we'll end on that one, but I have a question for you here. What's something that you learned from a previous leader that you have continued for yourself as a leader now?
There's two words, not just one. I think they're kind of connected to each other. No matter how hard it is, empathy. And with that comes kindness, because you never know what those individuals and you are going through. It's a daily check, just on a daily basis. You go through, a text message can ruin your day, and a video can ruin. And art can ruin your day. Anybody has, like we have a lot of digital connections with a lot of, our surroundings. So just be mindful of that and be patient with everyone, including yourself. And, with that also, I always say that, don't be hard on yourself. I've been too hard on myself. So, run, Forrest, run, keep going, hustle, and just breathe,
Mm-hmm. I love that.
And empathy most of the time, because, and you have to learn what that means, because I was like, yes, I'm empathetic. Trust me. I know it. And it's like, no, you don't.
Yeah, that one's a tough one. It takes selflessness.
Yes.
Stepping out back a little bit, thinking that you might not have all the answers.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just got to shut up.
Yeah. And I'm learning this gradually, it's not, nobody teaches you this. Life teaches you in weird ways, right? Being self-aware has been something I've been focusing on, not necessarily read books, but a lot of the times I'm spending my time on TED, watching those YouTube videos on empowering good leadership, even just not even good leadership, just be a good human, and what does that mean? What are the values? What are your values? And learn what these are and know firmly, and things like that, become a better you on a daily basis is something I've been working on. Although you think, you're a great person,
We're all wonderful, aren't we?
Yeah. But there's always room to grow, learn, and, be a better person every day. I think that's something I learned from my mentor, which I'm happy to share his name, Marshall Heights. He taught me a lot. He was a great mentor and a industry father, so he really taught me a lot.
There you go.
To have fun and be kind and wait for your turn. I was always, I want.
Yeah.
Like wait for your turn. It's just, let it come to you organically, naturally. Doesn't mean don't fight for, what you want. It's not that. It's like find the right time, speak in the right time, say the right things, things like that. It's hard all the time to be knowing what you're saying, because you're not always self-aware. You want to be self-aware, but not all the time, not in every instance. Yeah. So, that's something, and everybody, I think, is working on, especially after the pandemic. I think
Love it.
That
that was so good. Nelly, what, one last thing. Do you have anything that you want to plug, that you want to tell people about? You want them to watch or anything like that? This is your open forum, if you will.
Oh, first of all, I want to thank you for having me on this platform.
Of course. I love catching up.
I was like, for real? You want to talk to me?
For real.
And I feel honored, I remember, why? Because when I started at CNN, it was a huge deal for me. And going in there, meeting you, Richard, Eric, Gary, and I felt like, I need to be as good as them. I want to tell them I'm good, and I want them to feel like, I always wanted an approval, right? Something. So it was, important for us also to be always creative. And so what I want to say as a last, invite for everyone is find time to be creative. Do something, create with your hands. Don't sit on the computer, on your phones and your computer, your screens. Touch something, the ground. Go bare feet on the beach. I've seen a lot of people walk on the beach with their sneakers.
It's a waste.
I'm like, what is this thing? So many people on Santa Monica Beach, I find them walking with their sneakers on. And take off your shoes, people. Feel the grass, feel the ground yourselves, and do something artistic, because it's important to learn how to express something, whether it's love, it's hate, anger, express, because we've been expressing in a very negative ways, and kids are learning to express in very bad ways, access to guns at very young age. So as for anybody who has parents, who are parents like you, push the kids. I want the parents to make an effort to, push the kids to learn those, primitive things. It's fine. Yes, we are so advanced, but back to primitive doesn't mean we don't know anything. We came from there, and we're here because of that. So feel the ground yourselves, do creative art. And I think because art and love are connected in so many ways, because whenever you create, it's coming from an inner voice, and you will find a lot of things about you when you get to that zone. So, even if it's 5 minutes, you have a pencil and a paper. If it's writing a statement, writing a diary, or walking on the beach bare feet, please, do it. Just go outside,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. All right, Nelly, I'll let you get back to work. Thank you.
Great seeing you, Matt.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll talk later.